It's me, Jenisha Stanley again, and today I'm going to review the book Life Stories, Gandhi. This book was written by Diane and illustrated by Ager. This book has 128 pages and 12 chapters, including a quiz about Gandhi. So, who is Gandhi? Well, Gandhi is famously known as Mahatma Gandhi. And guess, he was also the father of India, and on every Indian rupee bill, Gandhi's face is printed on there. Isn't that cool? Gandhi was born on October 2nd, 1869 in Porbandar, in a small town close to the water. You see, this little blue thing right there is Porbandar. His parents' names were Karamchand Gandhi and Putlibai Gandhi. He had 5 siblings and he was the youngest of them all. I'm going to tell you 2 quick fun facts about Gandhi. He was a very shy boy and he was self-conscious about his big ears. Whenever he was getting home from school, he ran home so he won't have to talk to the kids because of his big ears. Gandhi's dad had a job as a government official. His job did not make them rich, but they had enough money to get a servant named Ager. He was considered an untouchable, but one day Gandhi's mom found out that Gandhi had accidentally touched him. Then she made him wash himself thoroughly. It was the only way to purify himself. But then he loved his mother, but it was wrong to think of Ager as dirty. To him, Ager was no better or worse than anyone else. In 1883, he married a neighbor girl called Kasturiba. And look, this is Gandhi and Kasturiba on their wedding day in 1883. In September 1888, Gandhi got on a ship and went to London to study law. He would study for 3 years and go back home in 1891. And here's a picture of Gandhi in 1890 before he went home in 1891. In 1893, he went to South Africa. He went there because he wondered, it was very hard to become a successful lawyer in India, so maybe I should go to South Africa instead. Maybe I'll have a better chance of doing that, becoming a successful lawyer. By that time, South Africa was ruled by the British and the Dutch. One day, something horrible happened. Whenever he had a ticket for the first class, the conductor tried to get him to sit in the 3rd class. But then he was very surprised. Then a passenger complained that first class is only for white people. Gandhi was like, no, that will not happen. I don't think that will happen. I have a ticket for the 1st class, so here's where I'm going to sit. Then the conductor got a policeman, and together they forced him right off that train. Then he spent a whole night at the train station. Then he wondered, is this what life in South Africa was like? But that changed his life forever. Then he wondered, should I fight for my rights or go back to India? But then he thought, I should fight for my rights, because it can't stay forever. The world can't stay forever like this, so I'll fight for my rights. So, let's see how Gandhi fought non-violently in South Africa. He didn't use guns, no weapons at all. He only did it non-violently. Gandhi invited 4,000 coal miners with him to go on strike. And that actually stopped the government. And I mean it. It actually worked. And that was a big win for Gandhi. Then he chose to go back to India in 1915 to fight the British government. How did Gandhi protest against the British government? It's one simple thing, non-cooperation. He did not cooperate with the British government. He got lots of other Indians to do the same thing. They never bought anything made by the British, Students never went to British-run schools. That was his protesting that made the government so angry that they put a high tax on salt. But maybe your question is, why? Well, the why is because every Indian uses salt. So then Gandhi decided to break the law. So then he started the Salt March. He went from Gujarat all the way to Dundee, which was 240 miles away. They didn't have a car or truck to run. They had to walk, and it took 25 days. And look, this is a picture of Gandhi in the Salt March. So then, whenever he finally got to Dundee, he reached out and grabbed a nugget of sea salt, and he said, "This is my salt. I am not going to pay any tax for it." And then Gandhi was arrested for breaking the law. Everyone who followed him was arrested too, and they were put in jail. So, whenever Gandhi was in prison, the British came by to have a negotiation talk with Gandhi. The British told him that they could offer more power to the Indians. That was good for Gandhi. But then, in 1942, this happened. Gandhi and many other Indians, they were all over India trying to get the British to quit India. And then they held up signs to quit India. But guess what the British police did? They whipped him. They whipped them. But guess what the supporters did? They never stopped. Until in 1947, 5 years later, India finally gained its independence. And that was a big win for Gandhi. On August 15th, 1947, 2 new countries were formed. And that was great. India and Pakistan. They even had a new flag. But then, on January 30th, 1948, something terrible happened to Gandhi. Just whenever he was walking to go to his evening prayers, a guy named Nathuram Godse was pushing his way through the crowd. And before anyone could notice what was happening, bam! He shot Gandhi 3 times. And then he fell and died. As he died that moment, he was heard to have said, "Hey Ram," which means, "Oh God." Then he died. More than 2 million people attended Gandhi's funeral in 1948. And also, Gandhi's legacy still lives on. Some people have even copied it, such as Nelson Mandela of South Africa. He spent 27 years in prison just to gain independence for South Africa. And Martin Luther King Jr. of the United States, he did the same thing. And also, in Washington, D.C., there is a Mahatma Gandhi statue. Whenever you go to Washington, D.C., you can see the statue. There are Mahatma Gandhi statues everywhere, like the one here. Gandhi protested for so many years, but there was one thing that he never done. He never did it violently. He never did it with shooting guns, using a knife. He never used any of that stuff. He just did it non-violently. And the world learned that from Gandhi. So everyone, go and read this wonderful book to learn more about Mahatma Gandhi, his life, and his non-violent protesting. Friends, thanks for watching my videos. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel to stay tuned in on my new videos. I'll fly over to my next video. See you there.